guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today I'm going to give you 3 BMWs you won't lose money on. Remember, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button, like and share this video so our channel can grow, and as always, leave a positive comment below. And leave a comment, because I'm a small YouTuber. I don't have an editor, I don't have a cameraman, I don't have a social media guy. It's actually me responding to your comments, so why not leave one? All right, so in this video, I'm going to give you 3 BMWs you can drive for free. That means you can buy the car. Yeah, you'll put some maintenance, you'll maintain it, you'll buy some tires, but it'll appreciate and you should be able to sell that car and not lose any money. So I'm going to give you cars that I've done that with before and cars that I can do that with now. So the first car that I would have been able to do that before, but it got stolen, is my Laguna Seca Blue E46 M3. So that car really appreciated in value. It was Laguna Seca Blue. It'd be worth a fortune now. Black interior, sunroof delete, 6-speed manual. Unfortunately, that got stolen, so I replaced it with this Mystic Blue car. Now, since I've owned this Mystic Blue car, it seems like it's going to continue to go up in value, and if I hold it for 5 years and sell it, even though I'm going to have to spend money maintaining it, I should be able to get all my money back when I sell it. So now, that's not true of every E46 M3. So I'm giving you that car because it's still an attainable car, though I think the window to buy it, I think those cars are really going to ramp up soon in the next couple of years, especially when we have the 20-year anniversary of the E46 M3, which is going to come in 2021 because the first model year came out here in 2001. So I think you have about 12 months or so left to buy this car before the appreciation really goes up. So I think if you buy one now, or you bought one recently like I did, I think if you hold this car for 5 years, in 5 years the value is going to be way higher. So even if you sink a couple grand into this car, I think you'll be able to get all that money and then some out of it. Now you got to be careful. I looked at about 10 E46 M3s before I bought mine. They could be maintenance nightmares. They could have deferred maintenance. My car has a stack of maintenance receipts about this big, and I wouldn't have bought my car unless it had a stack of maintenance records this big. So that tells you two things. One, the person really loved their car, because who would go through all those maintenance records unless this car was essentially a member of the family? And that's any sports car. That's always who you want to buy from. And highly maintained car, maybe not every single thing is done, but you know that most is done and you have a record of it. So I think if you have a stack of service receipts and keep a stack of service receipts while you own the car, you'll get all your money back if you hold the car long enough. So I do think not every E46 M3, because a lot of them are maintenance nightmares and basket cases, but I think if you've got to buy a good one like I did, you should be able to drive that car for free if you keep it long enough and sell it, you know, when the economy's strong for sports cars. All right, so that's the first car. The other two cars might not be as obvious, so watch this video to the end. The second car is the BMW 1 Series M. I've had this car for 6 years now, and it's appreciated a lot in value. I am way over what I put into it to what it's worth. Now, my car certainly has low mileage. It only has 19,000 miles. If you bought a 100,000 mile car, you would probably put a ton of money in this, but I still think if you keep this long enough that you can drive a 1M for free. I think they will be $100,000 cars, and why do I think that? Well, there's 25,000 E46 M3s. There's only 740 BMW 1Ms, and especially in orange, which is the signature color, there's only 309 of those. We already see EAG selling orange ones for 80,000. I think 100,000 isn't that far away. I think it's not going to be as quick as the E46 M3. The cars tend to start going towards peak value when they hit 20 years old and tend to get to their peak value when they're 30 years old. So 2001Ms, despite what you read on the internet, we're only producing model year 2011 here in the United States. So it's 10 years newer than the first E46 M3. So I think you're going to have to wait 20 years, 2031, before you see them being $100,000 cars. But they're probably going to go up $5,000 a year or so, and maybe you put $1,000 a year into it, so you're going to come out ahead, and you're certainly going to drive that car for free. So that's one of my top picks for sure. Right, and my third pick, it's not going to be as obvious as the other two. Everybody knows about the E46 M3. Everybody knows about the 1 Series M. People love the S54 engine in the E46 M3. And I've had 3 cars with the E46 M3. With the S54 engine. My 2 E46 M3s. And the other one, the Z3 M Coupe. So I think the Z3 M Coupe, they only made about 3,000 of those cars. They were like a skunk works project by BMW. They didn't think the Roadster was stiff enough. They wanted to make a stiff stiff version of that Roadster, and they made this coupe. It's a love it or hate it car. A lot of people don't like the looks. It grew on me. I used to hate and I was the first one to bash the looks on that car. But after I drove it, all that went away, and now I think it's the coolest looking car. And like, if you think the 1M is rare at 740 copies, this is really rare. Only 678 with the S54 engine. So there's about 3,000 Z3M coupes floating around here in the United States, but only 678 of them had that beautiful S54. And I always thought of this car as a lightweight E46 M3. If you love the E46 M3 and you always wish it was less weight or something like that, I think a fantastic car to choose is the Z3M Coupe. It's about 300 pounds lighter, shorter wheelbase, more lively car, and you still get that amazing engine. Now, people always ask me, well, how does it have less horsepower but has the same engine? Why does it have 315 over 333? And the reason is just exhaust routing, just the way the car is. I guess the exhaust isn't as efficient, and it only produces 315 horsepower. But it's a magnificent, phenomenal car, and if you ever drive one, you tell me, like the 1M or Z3M Coupe, you drive that car and tell me you didn't like it. It's phenomenal. So the E46 M3 is fantastic. I think these cars are better at driving free than the E46 M3, because the E46 M3 is pushing 20 years old now. It's definitely going to have a lot of deferred maintenance when you buy one. It's definitely got a lot of preventive maintenance going forward, where I think the Clown Shoe, well, maybe the Clown Shoe does because it's got the same motor and it's built in the same time period. But I think the 1M, especially if you get a lower mileage car, like under 50,000 miles, I think what you're going to put in there is minimal compared to what you got to get out. So out of those three, I think your best bet is the 1M. But the Clown Shoe and E46 M3s are really good bets. You just have to buy a car that's as stock as possible and it's highly maintained as possible. Now, the Z3M Coupe, there's so few of those cars, but I don't know. There's not as many people looking for them as the E46 M3. They're not as loved as the E46 M3. They're more of a love-hate relationship. And even I didn't like those cars at first when they were new. But it's definitely a car I think that's going to hold its value and go up in value. And all three of those I think are good buys. And if you buy them right, you can drive them for free. All right, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and leave a positive comment below. Remember, it's just me. And I will see you guys next time.